Now, I've read your column in both Spiked and The Spectator, Brendan, and you actually say, look, I'm not pleased about this.
Yeah, I'm not pleased about what's happened at all. I think there's a whiff of anti-democracy to it. And we do have to remember the fact that Boris was voted into power very enthusiastically by 14 million people. And we know why he was voted into power. It's because he said he would get Brexit done. And the rest of the political establishment at that time was basically saying, we'll get Brexit overthrown. We'll put it in the bin. We'll get rid of it. So that's why he won. Now, he has made many mistakes since the election in 2019. I didn't like his lockdowns. I think he listened to so-called experts too much. He's more authoritarian than I would like. And of course, there have been these scandals. But he was elected on a clear democratic mandate. And the way he's been swept from power makes me feel a little bit nervous.
And why does it make you feel nervous, Brendan? What is it that you think is waiting in the wings to thwart the democratic will? Do you actually seriously believe that Brexit is potentially at risk now?
I do, I'm afraid. And we've already seen people like Michael Heseltine saying Boris is gone, now Brexit should go. The Guardian is already publishing pieces saying everything that Boris did should be overturned, including Brexit. So the vultures and the ghouls of the Remainer elite are already circling around and hoping that they can finally drive the final nail into the coffin of Brexit. That's how they see it. So we have to bear that in mind and be very aware that that could well happen, that they will make those kinds of efforts. But the thing, when we look back on Boris's premiership, the thing that really gets me is the idea that we should be more horrified by Boris than we were by the Remainer elites that preceded him is really shocking to me. Boris has done nothing as bad or immoral or anti-democratic as what those elites tried to do in the run-up to 2019, where they spent all their time trying to overturn millions of votes, the most undemocratic movement in modern British history. And the idea that we should be more shocked by Boris making a few errors and not knowing if Chris Pincher was pinching bums or not, rather than the reason he was elected into power, which was to push back that undemocratic elite, that's the kind of narrative we need to challenge. And we need to remember why he's there and what the rest of the establishment was trying to do to our right to vote.
Yeah, Brendan, I don't know about you, but my inbox is absolutely packed with people livid with the Parliamentary Conservative Party, actually. They very much view Boris as their man. Here's this politician, all of a sudden, a great orator, came along and he was able to actually speak to communities like that, which I'm from, but not just County Durham, countless communities that primarily voted Brexit in towns and villages up and down the country. He was able, despite the fact he was an old Etonian Tory, he was able to actually speak their language. And they're worried, actually, that their man, being booted out by the parliamentary party, they view it as treacherous, frankly.
Yeah, and I share some sympathy with that worldview. And, to me, the fact that Boris got voted into power is the least mysterious thing that has happened in British politics for a very long time. Because what was people's alternative? There's a Labour Party which wanted to overthrow their vote for Brexit, which can't even say what a woman is, which can't even answer the question, does a woman have a penis, which in my view is the easiest question in the whole world to answer, and which looks with utter contempt upon the working class communities that it used to claim to represent. It looks at them as feckless, obese, racist, xenophobes. They voted against the EU because they hate foreigners. I mean, these were the contemptuous messages being pushed by large sections of the left. And the fact that the working classes in large number shifted to Boris and said, well, he seems to treat us with a bit more respect. He respects what we voted for and he respects our communities. That was an incredibly important realignment in British politics. And if the next leader of the country and the Conservative Party doesn't uphold that realignment, the Tories could be in big trouble.
So, Brendan, I'm going to ask you to play the role of Mystic Meg right now, right? If you got your crystal ball out and you were able to look into it and see who the next leader of the Conservative Party is going to be, what worries me, my crystal ball has a picture of Rishi Sunak in, right? And frankly, I find him about as exciting as I don't know what, watching Sir Keir Starmer at the dispatch box, right? It really is dull as ditch water, Rishi's platform and prospective parliamentary outlook, frankly. And I don't know how he's going to actually appeal to the kind of voters that you've just really eloquently spoken about.
No, I don't see how he can appeal to them either. And I think there's something really iffy and questionable about the fact that Rishi Sunak was making his website ready for Rishi for the past few months when he was supposed to be running the economy. He was supposed to be helping us all out of the cost of living crisis. And there he was apparently plotting and scheming to be the next leader of the country. And that will not go down well with many people. But, you know, I don't know who I want to be the next leader of the Tory party. I just know that I think there needs to be a general election pretty quickly after this person becomes prime minister, because they weren't voted into power in the same way that Boris was. I think Kemi Badenoch is easily my favourite. I think she's incredibly sensible. She understands the issues of sovereignty and freedom and the problem with wokeness. I think Suella Braverman's got lots of good ideas too, and she is pretty good on Brexit, and she's pretty strong on defending reason and sense against the woke mob. So those two would be my favourites. I don't think they're going to get it just yet, but I think as long as we support politicians like that, we have a chance to turn over the woke narrative.
Yeah, Brendan, before I lose you, I just want to really quickly ask you, a lot of people, I think, have been a little bit too glib about all of this, and the prospect of Labour getting into power is, oh, well, it's Sir Keir Starmer, it's a shrug of the shoulders. But actually, when you've got a politician, Brendan, I don't know about you, a politician that takes the knee, a politician that refuses to tell us what a woman is, a politician that actually was supremely relaxed about Jeremy Corbyn, and, as you rightly say, a politician that was supremely relaxed about riding roughshod over the biggest democratic vote for anyone and anything in our Brexit vote. Really quickly, what do you think actually Sir Keir Starmer would mean for the country?
Keir Starmer would be a disaster. He might come across as a bit boring and a bit stiff, but he has very problematic views. The first being that he treated the vote for Brexit with such extraordinary contempt and classism, in my view. And also, he can't answer the question, what is a woman? Now, that might sound frivolous, but if you can't say what a woman is, why should we trust you on other bigger issues like how to run the economy or how to steer the country into the future? So he has been swallowed up by wokeness and Remainer elitism, and working class people, I don't think, will trust him for a very long time.
Welcome to the GB News YouTube channel. You can watch us live 24 hours a day, catch up on your favourite shows, and join in the conversation in the comments below.
Don't forget to subscribe and you'll never miss any of our exclusive content.